So I've just watched the British crime thriller drama Fuze, which is directed by David Mackenzie and stars Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Theo James, Gugu Mbatha-Raw and Sam Worthington. I didn't see any trailers coming into this film, but the basic plot is they find a World War II unexploded bomb in London, and while the armed forces are coming in to defuse the situation, to defuse the bomb, there's basically a heist going on. A bank is being robbed in the process, and then the story goes from there. So I think Die Hard 3 basically with its plot set up. I'm just going to say from the off, this is going to be largely a negative review. So first of all, I'm going to try and highlight a couple of positives. This film, being a thriller, did actually have a few twists and turns I didn't see coming, and it did pull a number of them. And I've heard the director does a lot of that in his films. I haven't seen any of his films, but that was the sort of the hearsay, and for that it can be applauded. And come to think of it, I can't actually think of any more positives. Even though I said positives, I should just said a positive. So let's just really get into the negatives, and that is, now this cast I actually quite like. I've seen them in a lot of different films and TV series, so I thought from that side of things it should be quite good. It is a Sky production. This is basically been like a TV movie, not to cinema. It had that very much feel to it in its budget, in its production. But as far as the performances, I think only Aaron Taylor-Johnson really sort of stands out. I wouldn't even say stands out, just does a serviceable job. The others, I mean, it doesn't help the fact that you had Theo James and Sam Worthington trying to pull off South African accents, which were done very bad. I mean, I was sort of like listening, and they gave them very minimal lines. Then the longer it went on, they had a bit more of a beefy dialogue, and it really did sort of show the fact that they can't really pull off an accent. So when that happens, I'm like, either recast it or just, use the actors and just don't give them a South African accent. This isn't anything based on a real life story or anything like that. It's completely fictional, so you didn't need to lean into that sort of thing. I guess someone told them they could do an accent and they just rolled with it. But yeah, it was very distracting whilst watching it. The runtime of this movie is about 1 hour and 40 minutes, which isn't very long a film, but boy, it did actually feel like quite a long film, because this film, its pacing is not very good. I think the biggest problem with this film is it's largely very unengaging. I think right near the end of the film, did I sort of pay a little bit more attention? It did a little bit better, but it was already it was a case of too little too late. This film reminds me of, when you watch like a documentary and then they do those sort of reenactment parts of it. It's the people giving the interviews that provide context, that provide drama, and then the reenactment parts are just to show you literally what happened in the story. Well, take away those interviews and you get the reenactment parts. That is basically what you're watching here. There's no drama in it, there's no tension, there's no build-up, there's no real performance even much in it. I mean, you get quick bits of dialogue from various characters and then it switches over to someone else. And this film also doesn't have a point of view character. It keeps switching around between the various characters. Now, as the film rolled round to its conclusion, it kind of made a bit more sense as to why they were doing that. But it just left the whole film feeling very, very empty. Another thing is, whenever it cut to Gugu Mbatha-Raw's character, I'd previously seen her in Doctor Who. She played, who did she play? Tish. She played Tish in Doctor Who. And she largely feels like a TV sort of actor. I mean, I think most of her roles are TV, and that's another thing that kind of helped give it that TV feel, and not in a good way, unfortunately. But whenever it would cut to her, she was the police officer, and it would cut to her, she'd give a line, and then it would cut straight to someone else. So you never really even got to know her character. That part's not her fault. Her delivery's not that great. I think most of this film's problems come down to the directing and the writing especially, because there wasn't really a lot there for the actors to work with. So let's get on to the rating. As I said, this is going to be a largely negative review, so the review I'm going to give it, or the rating I'm going to give it, is that this is a bad film. I really would skip this one. If it comes out on streaming, on like Sky or whatever, I probably wouldn't even give it a watch then, but there must be some fans out there for it. But I would say don't look no further than appearing on your TV screen. It's not worth coming to the cinema to watch this film. So have you seen Fuze? Are you planning on seeing it? Let me know in the comments below. As always guys, if you made it this far in the video, leave us a like and subscribe, and check out my other playlists, which include movie reviews, movie locations, movie attractions, and other stuff as well. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies.